Hey guys, it's Nick here. Hope you're doing well. Finally found the time to shoot this money video I've been intending to shoot all week. And in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about money both from the context of bringing in money, so one of the major money blocks, but also money from the context of selling services and attracting people who can afford your services, who have the money to afford your services, because these two topics actually go hand in hand. So my freedom leaders, listen up to especially the second part of this video. So first, I want to remind you that most people are manifesting by default. So what do I mean by manifesting by default? So we allow our perspectives, our expectations, typically to be based on physical reality evidence. So I experience something that creates a belief, a perspective. That belief perspective gets projected out through our vibration. Reality creates more of that experience. So for example, let's say I own a fruit stand. And on that fruit stand, I've got apples and pineapples. If for the last 6 months, I haven't sold a single pineapple, nothing but apples, then that evidence creates a belief within me, an expectation that the next person who comes in is only going to buy apples. So this creates what I call a current reality loop, where I allow physical reality evidence to define a belief, a perspective, an expectation that projects into reality, which creates more of that experience, which reinforces more of that belief, right? And that creates that loop, right? And that's what most people are doing, and that's what I really call manifesting by default. Now, let's take that example and translate it over to money. So here's how people are doing the same thing around the context of money. So there's what I call a financial reference point, or a baseline of what you believe you can afford. And that baseline is based on the amount of money you have in your bank account, the amount of money you expect to have in your bank account, maybe in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, and also your financial history. So what you've had in your bank account for the last, 6 months, right? That creates a reference point. It creates a belief and expectation around what you can or can't afford. So if you've had no more than $500 in your bank account for the last 3 years, then you're probably practicing a belief that I can't afford a brand new car, right? And the way you can measure to see if you're practicing a baseline financial reference point, one of these current reality loops that's keeping you stuck there, is ask yourself, scale of 0 to 10, 10 being I totally expect it, 0 I don't expect it at all, how strongly do you expect to have a different amount of money, a significantly different amount of money in your bank account 6 months down the road, right? And if you're not expecting it to be different, well, then you've got some belief work to do. You've got some perspective shifting that you need to make. And the most important thing to recognize for this perceptive shifting is that evidence, physical reality evidence, is evidence of nothing other than the vibration that you're practicing, right? So you need to stop allowing current reality circumstances to define or have you tune into the vibration of those same current reality circumstances, right? Makes sense? So here's 3 really quick tips on how to overcome this money expectation. So 1, learn to allow money to become a cooperative component. Stop trying to figure out ways to make money show up, because by doing that you're blocking that. I got another YouTube on that topic. Second, learn how to break free from that current reality loop by choosing new expectations, even if you don't have any evidence to back them up yet. And number 3, of course, work through money resistance. So things like fear, split energy, emotions like feeling like you're non-deserving or unworthy, things like that. So now, for those of you who are my freedom leaders, my practitioners, how does this apply to selling services? So how is it that you want to, what is it that you need to shift or do to attract clients who can afford the things you want to sell, whether they be services or products, it doesn't matter. So in that context, it's the same thing, but really there's 2 key beliefs you want to look at. So one is the beliefs around what others can afford, but also the beliefs of what others are willing to pay. And what's interesting is it's based on, of course, what you've experienced so far in your reality. So if you can only see people who have ever been able to afford apples, then you're not going to expect to see people who can afford pineapples, right? And the people who can afford the pineapples, they're everywhere. They're all around you in your physical reality. But if you're still vibrating at the expectation that people can only ever afford apples, then that's all you're going to experience, right? So it's by understanding that you're basing what others can or can't afford, not just on what you've seen, but on your own financial circumstances, on your own financial limitations. If you don't believe you can afford to pay $200 for a session with a coach, then your belief system is going to reinforce that in other people, and you're only ever going to attract people who can afford no more than what you believe you can afford, right? So what you need to realize and recognize is that there are people everywhere at all baselines of financial set points who can or can't pay for services at all prices. But if you don't see yourself as being able to practice the vibrations where you could afford it, then other people, you're not going to have a belief system that reinforces the ability for those people to show up in your reality as well. So what I want you to do is recognize that financial experience is just a practiced vibration, right? And if you're not attracting what you want from a financial vantage point, it is purely an expectation problem, a belief system problem, a mindset problem, and start by working through this by looking at what are my expectations, both for what I can afford, what I can do, but how I'm perceiving other people as well. So that's what I wanted to share today. Hopefully this was useful for you guys. And I'd love to know, what do you believe your biggest mindset limitation is around money? Drop a comment. And I'd also love to know, do you feel like you're stuck in one of these current reality loops, these baselines where you're just expecting your bank account to be the same thing in 3 months, 6 months from now? Drop a comment, let me know, I'd love to hear. And wishing you a magical day filled with lots of incoming financial abundance.